protective styles
Yes.
are the protective styles that we know from the last, because it's been about, I would say, like the last 10 to 15 years. The protective styling,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, protective styling is a whole new thing. Like, that is nothing that is being taught in our schools, nothing
At
that we're
all.
learning when we come out. There is no protective styling continuing education classes. I just want to put that out there because it
Exactly.
does not exist.
It doesn't.
So, Naisha, I came across your comment on I think it was the beauty rosters page about protective
Okay.
styling. And I was like, okay, somebody else saying out loud the thing that we have been saying since we've been on the internet since 2015, that
Right.
there's the styles, the wigs, the weaves, the
Mm-hmm.
braids, the crochets, and I like to make sure I name all of these things because these are things that we are familiar with, have all been put in this category called protective hairstyling. And
Exactly.
you, Naisha, you said no, they're not protective.
No, they're not. I don't think they are protective. I believe it's like different ways in which you could prep and prime the hair before you go into a protective style that could make it protective. But in our reality, it's just like you putting your hair away and you leave it alone. I don't think it's really protecting the hair, if that makes sense.
No, I totally agree. The idea, so I think what we have to do is like kind of go back a little bit from where once this came. And this
Right.
came from like 2009, 10 era of the natural hair
Mm-hmm.
space, where people were trying to again figure out their hair, what we like to say, crowdsource their information. And
Right.
because people, one, did not know how to properly shampoo, to properly condition or detangle, because y'all was finger detangling a lot back then, because it was believed to be more gentle.
Exactly.
And because of that, a lot of the shampoos and conditioners that were being used were not the best quality for natural hair. On top of the fact, like, so when you combine like poorly formulated shampoos and conditioners with
Mm-hmm.
poor technique and application, you end up with a lot of breakage.
Yep.
End up with a lot of tangling, matting, and then this idea of protecting ends, because we aren't, necessarily uh, aligned or partner with hairstylists, because guess what? Hairstylists, we got to take the L on this one. We were not there when this space was born.
At
And
all. Mm-hmm.
and the narrative that got shared was that hairstylist was like, oh, you ain't got a relaxer, I can't do your hair. And so people, of
Right.
course, abandoned and also don't really trust hairstylists. Even right in this current time, we still have I think there's a bit of distrust with hairstylists. But with that being said, the idea that protective hairstylists, one, keeping your hands out of your hair, two, minimizing breakage, retaining length, but
Retaining length is a big one.
that length retention, when between the length retention and the hair growing, and I'm going to be bringing a dermatologist into this conversation
Oh, that
because
would be lovely.
that's beyond my pay grade in terms of like how hair grows, because there's different stages of hair growth that people are
Exactly.
not at all familiar with. And nobody's, you can't go, there's nowhere you can go and a doctor or even a hairstylist and say, oh, you're in the anagen stage. That's actually one of the phases of hair growth.
Right. That's the phase we get stuck in,
Right. We can't say like,
unfortunate.
oh, you're in anagen right now. So right now, I forget
Right.
is anagen the one that stays still?
I think it's like Anagen, Telogen, and what was the other one? It started with
Cat,
like a C. Cat. There you
catagen,
go.
catagen.
And then they say it's a fourth one too.
Oh, there's a fourth one. So
It is a
basically,
fourth one.
what? So those are. It's a don't quote me because I haven't looked at that in a little while. Like if you would have caught me
For
back
sure.
in about 2017, I would have told you which is which. But I'll
Mm-hmm.
tell you this: one phase is the growing phase.
Yep.
One stage is resting phase, and the other stage is the stage where the hair is shedding. And
Mm-hmm.
growing stages can last from, I don't know. I'm just gonna say 12 months. Let's just say 12 months to 48 months. That's a person who you're going to see with hair that is probably past their shoulders. more bra strap length kind of hair because their hair grows fast
Mm-hmm.
enough for them to retain up to I have to say this, up to the 16
Uh-huh. Right.
growing
Exactly.
year. So if your growing phase is shorter and your hair, let's just use this as an example, your hair is finer, you're going to have a hard time in between that stage from the resting, shedding, and the growing stage again for that hair to retain a certain length. So that's why
Yeah.
everybody cannot, yes, I said cannot, and I'm very firm on that, cannot have long hair.
Right.
Every
See, and I do have some people where I'll be like, I have a few clients. Y'all could go check out my social media and things, but I do have a few clients who they hair was like right here, we get stuck at this like neck lift, collarbone lift, and none of their family members have long hair. But she stayed with me for 6 years and her hair is now down to her waist. But it's certain
mm,
things in which, you manipulate the hair and you style the hair. I just feel like it's too much a touching to the hair, so that's why it's constantly breaking off. And then of
yeah,
course we missing our treatments. We are over manipulating. It's just a lot of stuff that we are doing to our hair that's making it stuck. And I seen this one, what was it? It was a study at some college. Don't quote me on me. I could look it up on Google, but it was a study at a college, and they said that they had like this machine that pulled on like the strands of hair. Did you hear about that?
no, I haven't heard about that one.
Okay, so it was like this Caucasian lady, right? So they had tested Caucasian hair, Asian hair, black people natural hair, and then they had tested black people with relaxed hair. So
Hmm.
they said Asian hair had up to like 8,000 pulls. That's like brushing, combing, any type of manipulation to the strand. They had
Yes.
8,000 pulls. White people had
Mm,
about like 7, maybe 5,000 pulls, and then black people
mm.
with natural hair had about like 5 to 4,000, and then black people with relaxed hair only had like 500. So
Wow.
all those tugs, and I tell my clients, it's like all those tugs is like damage to the hair. So if you can minimize those tugs, then this hair right here, since this is my new hair, once it get down here, it could last longer because I was careful about not over manipulating it. Once it
That
came out.
is fascinating.
No, it
And
was. I'm gonna send it to you after this. But I
please,
was like,
please. And I'll
wow.
post it here in the comment section for
Okay.
anyone who wants to read it. But that's actually very, very interesting because I think there's still another dynamic and layer to that. When you start
Mm-hmm.
getting into the different texture, and when we say texture in cosmetology as hairstylists, well, not all of us, but most of the time we're talking about the actual size of the strand and the size of the strand. Um, I love to use the example of pasta noodles that I got from Jennifer Rose in New York City.
Uh,
I love that example because I know we're all familiar with pasta noodles. So you got your angel hair pasta, which is your
mm-hmm.
very, very fine hair. You got your
Exactly.
spaghetti, and then you got your linguine. And so that would be, so your angel hair would be your very fine hair. Your spaghetti will be your medium, right in the middle texture, like again, diameter and size. And then your
Mm-hmm.
linguine would be your very coarse hair. So I would wonder, like, what are the tug levels on them when
Mm,
you start getting down to that granular level? Because
right.
definitely your fine hair people just cannot handle a lot of manipulation. Like those are the people,
Mhm.
like from in my space, because I work mostly with clients who wear their loose curls. I do have some twist curls, and I do some blowing out just in case people were wondering, but I do mostly
Right.
cuts. And my clients who have very, very fine, I have a lot of clients who have very fine strands, and a lot of them,
Right. That's
tons.
me.
Okay, so tons of fine strands, and they have no problem growing hair. Like there's no problem growing hair. What they have a problem with is the hair becoming matted. And so my fine hair
Mm.
clients have to cleanse their hair more frequently than like me. I can go 7, 10 days. They 5, 6.
Mm.
And that 6th day is really pushing it for them. They need to do it
Right.
every 6. And it's not over manipulating if they're wearing their hair a very specific way. It's like not like they're in a month, like 1 week or one period, they're like wash and go, twist out, braid out,
Mhm.
bantu knot, blow dry, braid, all in the same month. The hair cannot
Right.
handle, I don't think anybody's hair really can handle that level of manipulation. And so that's
No.
where we have to be more conscious. I need to, I'm very fascinated about that because that really puts a lot of context. And then that makes me, what I said at the beginning of this, like everybody can, some of us can.
Right. So and then too, I even tell my clients because I don't know how much research you did on my page, but my hair it typically grows like right here. It grows like that within like 3 to 4 years, give or take, and then I always cut it off real short, and then I grow. It's a thing with me, so
Britney
I
Spears?
always
Are you Britney Spears?
I might be the black version. I don't know. But I always tell people, I'm like, don't follow what I do, listen to what I say. Because I'm one of those rare cases where, like you said, like I said, don't listen to me. I do the blow drying, I do the combing. I just had a V part wig in and I did a braid out last night. Okay. Let's be real. And then I was just telling her, like, I literally relax like this part of my hair. Sometimes you just go through those phases where you're like, oh my god, this and the third, and it's not good. I'm not saying this it was a good thing, but I'm just going through the motions of really like trying to grow out my hair at this time the right way. So that was like one of my love phases I went through, but I could over manipulate my hair and my hair will still grow. Other people, it's like when you do your wash and go, you set it. Don't try to put it in a ponytail 3 days later, or don't try to put a half up, half down, 4 or 5 days later. Go ahead and just set it in a wash and go, do your little stretch method, and then wait till the next day. I mean, the next wash day, and then you go ahead and start manipulating the hair and stuff like that. But even with like the noodle strands, I never heard of that before, so I'm gonna look that up as well because that
Yeah,
does make sense and it put a lot of context to like the pulling part.
right. Because if you think about it, just even from our everyday of working with clients,
Mm-hmm.
that fine hair just cannot take all of the things that your coarser hair clients can take.
That is
But
true.
funny enough, like you said, you did all that stuff. I can't do all that stuff to my hair. Like I can't, like especially now because I'm blind. So like
Mm-hmm.
doing all the no, it's called breakage, and I'm gonna have it every single time.
Right.
My hair, like it's very temperamental. It's coarse. It is coarse.
I
Um,
love your hair, by the way.
Thank you. It's coarse. Like I got braids like 2 summers ago, probably about 2 to 3 weeks after I got my hair colored. Lost these
Mm.
corners. They were down here. They was up here. That's how long I had the braids in. 2 weeks.
Oh. See, but then I wonder, like, would that be the technique as well? Like, people. So I tell people because I used to be a braider as well. So I
Oh
used
wow.
to be
Okay.
really good. Yeah, if you look back, you will see like y'all could Google it. Y'all could Google Naisha Styles. You'll see my stitch braids, knotless, and everything. And I did help people grow their hair with braids, but I had mastered a technique to where I know how to braid tightly, and I don't grip the follicle tightly. So I use my
Gotcha.
product to make it slick and not my tightness of the grip to make it look slick.
Gotcha.
Did that make
Gotcha.
sense?
No, got you. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't that. It was only the part that was colored that broke.
Oh,
Yeah,
well then
but
that makes sense. 'Cause yep,
also here, this hair along this hairline, this whole
yep,
entire
all right here.
all of this
Mm-hmm.
for about that much back, y'all. So like, wait, I'm trying to turn the camera. So about that much back. This hair right here in this area, the
Ooh.
most fine, like the most fragile hair on your entire head. In fact, all the way
Mm-hmm.
around, about I'll say
Yeah,
about a
yeah.
half
It's
an
like
inch, all the way around. That is the most fragile hair, and that is the most asked about hair
it
and the most
is.
abused part of the hair.
Especially when you get the braids come to the back and then you have all this
Oh,
just yeah,
oh,
the follicle be
I lost a
screaming.
braid. I lost an individual braid one time. Yeah, years ago, individual, and I
She's
only
back
had
now.
those. They are
She's
been
back now.
it been grew back, been cut off and grew back. But
Right.
that makes so much, like I'm still blown away by the fact that like the tugs and pulls. But we are always saying over here, and I'm sure you will definitely agree with this, that combing is damaging your hair. Like like it's you're not
It
like
is.
brushing, shampooing, braiding, twisting like the
Mm-hmm.
twist out girls. Listen, we see y'all's ends. Them ends be
Ending.
they need attention. Let me say it nicely. Very, very
Mm-hmm.
nice. Those ends need attention. And what people don't consider or even know that those ends are like the oldest, most fragile part. And you got to remember, like, once these ends were up here, like, how long did it take for this to, like, or for this hair to come from here?
Right.
That take.
How much manipulation did you do? How many protective styles did you do? So that's why I ask my clients, I'd be like, you got to think, like, I'm using me as a prime example. I done manipulated my hair a lot. So, like, how much damage did I really do to this? And then I expect it to grow out right here. So I know by the time it grows out, I might have to cut this length off and start over with fresh hair because I've been doing the thing.
You can live your life. But what I love about you, Naisha, is that you are like, it's hair, like, and I'm gonna
It's
do something
hair.
with it whenever I feel like doing it. It is because the protective styles have turned into this, like, one, let me put my hair away, let me protect it
Hmm.
so it grows. And it's turned into kind of a space that people go to when they're over it, tired of it, or they
And
want to
that's true.
neglect it. Like, let's
Hmm.
have a real
Let's
conversation.
call it what it is. Yeah, I don't. We do as you please. So I teach my clients, I'm like, we're gonna figure out what part of what stage of life you are in currently. Because
Hmm.
determining also, like, are you a parent? Are you married? Are you taking care of an elderly person right now? Are you a corporate bae right now? Are you the only black one amongst 100 white counterparts? We're gonna take all that into consideration. Then what can you handle mentally? And then we could figure out, like, what do you want to do with your hair? Because then can we just maintain the health of it right now, or do we want to focus on growing it? Because if you don't want to come outside like this right now, then you might want to just worry about the health and not retaining length. Because truly, to retain more length, and I'm pretty sure you agree with this, is just to wear it out, let it be free. Do your little wash and goes. I even see a lot of people do two strand twists and grow their hair out too. But it's just letting it be free. Now, if you want to do protective styles, we just can't call it protective styles. We got to call it. It need to be another name. It got to be
No,
another
a
name.
wig, a weave, a crochet, a
Right, all
braid.
right.
Like, it's the hairstyle. We
Mhm.
actually came up with the term alternative hairstyle, but it's just
Okay.
a hairstyle. Like, if you
Mhm.
came in and was like, I want a Bantu knot out, like, we just are doing the Bantu knots. Like, it's not like
Right.
this whole
Oh, you
sporting
did say that the
thing.
protective style name did just come about.
Yeah, it just
You're
came
right,
out.
because it was just like braids. It wasn't back in probably 1970 when my mom was born. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to get a protective style. I'm going to go get dookie braids or the
Yes,
tree braids or, like you
yes.
said, crochet set.
Yes,
Wow.
it's just been a hairstyle, but
It's been a
and
hairstyle.
so
Yeah.
the natural hair space adapted that moniker. And then hairstylists, listen, hairstylist friends, I love y'all, but I think it comes a time and a place where we have to, insert ourselves a bit and, like, call
Mhm.
things as they are. And it is not a protective. Honestly, I'll tell you this. So what we came up with, Black Girl Curls came up with, was one, that protecting the hair is caring for it. How do you care for your hair? Cleanse it, you condition it,
Mhm.
you style it.
Agreed.
You do
Mhm.
that what? Regularly. That's actually how you protect your hair. And so
I love that. I love that.
that
I love
means
that.
what? Wash and goes are protective, twist outs
Bicycles
are
are
protective,
protected.
braid
Mhm.
outs are protective. Shoot, even a blowout can be protective.
Right. And people don't
Technically.
understand that. No, it can. So I just made a post, I think this morning. Was it
Uh-huh.
last night? Anyway, I just made a post either last night or this morning. Y'all go check it out. But I was talking about the that word always messes me up. The sebum oil that's on
Yes,
your scalp. Like,
yes.
you have to let that travel down and protect the hair. That's what it's made for. Our bodies produce it. It's supposed to do its job, but it cannot do its job if you throw in weave over it because it's not protected. The oil can't travel down, or it could get trapped. You know what I mean? So it's not doing its job. And you have to properly cleanse the scalp, like you just said. And then we have a skin cell turnover on the scalp as well. Then it'd be just a whole bunch of things going on. I have realized, and I hope this won't be offensive to anybody, but I realized, just like, even being in the salon suite that I'm in, I'm like one of three black girls, but white people care for their hair like they care for their body. This is our body. They go to the physician, monthly, or I mean, not monthly, but they go to the physician and, they take care of their
As a
body.
need.
And they also, yeah, and they take care of their hair as well. And we don't think of it that way. We like, oh, we just need to get our hair up and out the way. And the real matter is, if you really truly come to me and you sit in a chair and you cry or you complain about, I want my hair to grow, well, then you have to actually start to embrace the hair. It's a whole mental thing, and we have to be
It
honest with
is.
ourselves that we're not confident enough with how we just look like this. Because I mean, it's
We're
how we
not
look.
I always say we're not comfortable. And a lot of that
Comfortable. Okay.
comfortability has to do with one, we don't see a lot of images of certain kinds of hair. Like just be keep it 100. Like I
You're
literally,
right. That's why I got my hair out right now. You're right.
and I've been wearing mine now, and
You have.
I get comments like, "Oh, your hair is dry." Somebody told me, and this is the stuff they say online.
Wow.
Like literally somebody commented and was like, "Your hair looks like it looks like hay," and I was like, "My hair looks like hay," like. And then it's like, and your hair is damaged. And it's like, do y'all realize if my hair was legit damaged? And it's funny because y'all, if y'all been watching the Black Girl Girls podcast, you're gonna hear me tell the story numerous times. But again, to a new friend,
Hmm.
if my hair was truly damaged, it would not be where it is right now and blonde.
That part. And to be snapping off.
Real talk, if it was
Hmm.
truly damaged, it would not be where it is right now, blonde. It wouldn't. I mean, and trust me, if y'all been over here in this space, y'all have seen my hair broke off. Like I, I had one time this whole crown had broke off. The bang was
Oh,
up here to like up to here. You know, once it loses definition, then it does this.
it
And
does.
so I just wrote it out until it grew out. Like I just wrote it out. I didn't even try to cut it up shorter. I just wrote that little baby crown out and kept it moving. But to say all that is we do have to decide. And I love that you center lifestyle because that's actually a huge part of what I do with clients when they come in and be
Oh.
like, oh, I wanna you know, I don't like doing my hair that much. I don't have time to wash it. And so it's like,
Hmm.
okay, but okay, I hear you. So how much time a week would you like to spend doing your hair? And I was like, oh, I can
Exactly.
do 3 hours. I said, well, what if I told you I can help you do that in 3 hours or less? Girl, I don't believe you.
They don't believe it because it don't post. Even this thing, like they say, it's a wash day. Wash day don't take that long. If I did not relax this little strip, that my washing goes. Once I learned how to properly moisturize my hair, shampooing, deep condition, and then styling it, it probably like an hour, 20 minutes. It's not that long, and I be
It's
playing in the shower. It's not that long. It's really a wash and go now. You just have to really learn your moisture level. You just gotta learn
you
it.
just have to learn how to shampoo and you have to learn how to
Hmm.
condition. And then the other part is learning. And this is not something, let me be honest with y'all. Y'all cannot go out here and figure out how to do this wash and go. It is truly a science to wash and goes. I hate to break it to y'all, but it is. I've been doing
It's
wash and go.
magic. It's magic.
I've been doing them behind the chair since 2017, and I was all the time coming up with different ways to apply product. Because one, it's
Same.
not something that they are teaching in hair school. Two, not too many people in the industry actually know how to do them for real. And I'm not even. This is not a shade or a diss to our industry.
Hmm.
The hairstyle is still fairly new to our space, and one of the biggest things that people have not. I guess put together or put the pieces together because what we actually learn in the first 3 chapters of our cosmetology book is what we rest on in natural hair. It's literally those first 3 chapters where they break down the hair and they talk about how the cuticle works and all that stuff. Well, what one of the things with wash and goes in order for you to get the curl definition is the hair being able to absorb water. Hair
I
has to
just talked
absorb
about that
water.
the other day. Yes, I literally had went live maybe last week, and I was showing people like this is how your curls look with the shampoo in there. The shampoo has to take out all the butters, all the oils, all the dirt, all the cream. Once that shampoo does its job, then you can start applying the oil. And people literally be like, that's why I said magic, because they be like, "Are you doing sorcery?" I'm like, "No, I'm
And
shampooing your hair the right way."
so honestly, they don't even eat the oil. And that's probably
I
where,
see you said that.
yeah, that's the part that really blows people's minds. Like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Mhm.
Because if we think about it, like moisture is water. And so, yes, we need to trap the water in the hair, but your shampoo is
Mhm.
removing, like you said, the dirt, oil buildup, and the environmental debris. And the
Mhm.
conditioner, usually formulated with oils, it's helping to lock that moisture into the hair. And so then you got that part, right? So we cleanse, we
Right.
condition. And again, all of this stuff or all of this prep that we're doing is protecting the hair so that we can continue to nourish it, so it can continue to thrive as well. But the
Exactly.
thing is that people miss is like, okay, once we do that cleansing conditioning, what do we do next? Well, everybody wants to go grab a leave-in conditioner
Mhm.
because that's just what we've been like trained to believe. Now, you can use that for certain hairstyles, but when we're talking about that
Right.
washing, we still need that hair to absorb some water. We need it to hold on to it. So we like to use over here humectant gels because humectants attract more water.
Oh, I see. So okay, so I still do the leave-in. This is
Yeah,
my
it's
holy
fine.
grail.
It's fine.
I
It's
still
fine.
do.
It's fine. It's
But
fine.
I seen that. So I mean, I'm always a student to everything. I'm not gonna say I know everything at all,
And
but I do love.
I'm not saying leave-ins are wrong. What I
Right.
do find though is that it makes it harder for the hair to absorb more water, which also then
Mm,
creates a barrier that kind of takes away from the efficacy of your gel for the hold.
mm.
And
I'm gonna
so,
try it. I'm gonna try it. I
so
love trying new
using
techniques. I'm gonna try it.
okay, so using humectant gel, you want something that's like botanically based, something aloe, flaxseed, and it has to be true aloe, not true and true flaxseed gel, even
Hmm.
okra. So Curly
I
Magic
seen
is one
okra.
of our
Yep.
mainstays. And some people hate it, some people love it. I use
Hmm.
it because it's just the one. It's most accessible, and it works with anything I layer it with, just about. So
Mm.
use that, and then what happens after that? I know we're supposed to be talking about protective styles, and I'm tell y'all it's gonna still lead back to this.
And wash
So
and go still or protective
they're
style.
still protective,
You
right?
could grow your hair with that.
You sure can. I know
You
that's
can.
actually a narrative going around that wash and goes. You can't grow hair with a wash and go, and I'm just like, it's that's the worst piece of advice out there because it is possible. It's just that
Mhm.
it requires getting regular haircuts.
Mhm.
Just like with anything, like your silk
Yeah.
press still requires regular haircuts. Your box braids still require regular haircuts because if you don't cut that hair regularly, this hair on the end, I was actually meant to say this earlier, it's
Mm.
like pantyhose. Like when you get
Right.
through a hole in pantyhose, and if it's compromised, it'll just run up the entire strand.
Mhm. Start splitting off left and right like a little tree branch.
Sure does. So you don't want to compromise the entire strand for this much. Like we literally be risking it all for this much hair on the end.
We really do. And I'll be like, baby, let me coach you through this. Let me help you. Cause I promise you if I cut it off, it'll be right back. But it'll be full. It'll be healthier. Life would be great.
Full, full and lush, full and
Yes, and
lush.
lush.
I don't know
Yes.
how, like, I don't even know how that escapes people's like the lushness and that full. Like, I want parts of my hair that are not yet like right over here. I'm like, I just need that to fill in right there. Y'all don't know that.
Mhm.
I'm telling y'all, like, I didn't gave it away.
Right.
But it's really not the problem. It's just that my hair right here is such a disruption because my hair is so it's so dense. It's really not a hole. It's really not.
Bam.
So I be making stuff up. But either way, okay, either way, you
Right.
want to have that fullness, you want to have that lushness going on. So yeah, that's the anatomy of a wash and go. It's that botanical gel, and then we're layering the gels with stuff. Now I know because there's some people that have been in our community. We've been online since 2015.
Right.
And they're at a place like now they're like, I just want to use one product. I'm sorry, y'all. I still ain't found this one product solution
Me
because no
either.
one product has answered the call to do all the things. And now, granted,
Mhm.
there's some hair, it's usually silky, that can do one product. But even those silky hair folks don't want just one product on their hair when they
Mm-mm.
want their hair to last for multiple days.
Exactly.
they want a little bit more weight or they want a little bit of shine. And so there's just not many products that are that I know of that are
Mhm.
answering the call to just be this one all be all. So I'm usually layering on products because Uncle Funky's makes my hair by itself. It makes it look like a Jerry curl. And I'm like, I don't want that Jerry curl, like stringly Jerry curl look.
Right. It did that to my hair. Yeah, it did. I was like, "The definition is here, though."
The definition is there.
The
So what I
definition
end
was
up do so what I end up doing is layering on another gel and maybe a foam or a foam and then another gel.
Okay, okay.
Okay. The foam, because actually I'm doing right now I'm working through some products because the community is using products and then
Me
they ask questions
too.
about it and I don't know everything about it. So then I have to use
Mm,
it. And then I have I call my curl partners, my two other hairstylist friends. One's in California, Pasadena, and the other one is Dallas. So we're all three of us are always trying out like different combos. And then we have this whole little like side conversation about like, oh, I did this and it did this. And then it's like, "Ooh, let me
uh-huh.
try that. Let me see how it works."
That's the
So
beauty of our hair too. And that's the beauty of
right.
having curl girlfriends because it's like,
Yes.
no, it's just this one set way. No, it's combinations. And we all got different products that or different combinations that work for us. And all our hair is different.
The combinations, and also we live in different regions. So like when they're trying
That
stuff, because
part.
they're trying on their clients, like, let me try this on my client. I'm gonna see what they have to say about it. And
Exactly.
then they'll come back like, okay, my client went to her birthday and it was raining and her hair still looked good in her photos. It's like, okay,
Okay.
that's a winning combo. Let's write that down. So I literally have I have a note, an ongoing note of product combos that they tell me about, and I write notes about them and I have them saved because
That's a smart idea. Because I'm over here trying combos and didn't put it down. That's a good idea. That's a
yeah,
good idea.
I keep a note. I keep a note of these product combos because, well, one, I share them with if you are not at all familiar, Black Girl Curls has a private community called SeeSomeCurls, and so I share with
Oh,
them. I know you're like,
that's
ooh.
nice. I'll
I
be there
share.
in a minute.
Well, actually, believe it or not, we are working on something for professionals separate from that because this consumer space is different. So the three
Mhm.
of us are putting our heads together right now because I'm like, hairstylists need this information just as much as the consumer needs the information. But
Exactly.
we're dealing with it on a different level when we're talking about it on a professional level. So we are working on something. The three of us are working on something specifically for professionals so that y'all can have like something to work from because it's like where nobody else is like where are we getting this information. A lot of people are just trying stuff and figuring things out, but
Exactly.
we've been figuring out stuff since 2017. Like it's 24,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So we're working,
Right.
but
I love
so we
that.
so I use the curly magic because it's going to attract more water to the hair. I use foam because it helps with giving the hair more slip
Okay.
and it creates more volume. So, like, I have bigger hair
Mm.
today than instead of waiting for it to happen on day 3 or 4. And then I put another gel on top of it because a lot of times when you put the foam on, the hair starts to escape out of like the curl groups. So, you ever seen a hair that starts looking frizzy, but it's
Yes.
got product on it?
Mhm.
Need a little bit more like and a heavier gel usually does that. And
Right.
also that last gel is an anti-humectant, meaning that it's going to help shield
Mm.
the hair from the environment, either taking water out or putting water into the hair. Minimize. Let me be clear about that. Minimize.
Heavy on the minimize.
Heavy on the minimize because people are like, okay, so which gel because it's humid. So which no. When
No.
it's really, really humid, we just need to pick something else to do with our time.
Basically.
Whole new hairstyle. So that's where
Basically.
that's where all of that that came from. Well, we got to that place just because one honestly, if you look back to 2009, 2010, the black girl wash and goes were not on the tight curls.
See, even in 2009, 2010, I didn't really start was I on social media then? I think it was like 2011, 2012. That was
They
when I
still
had
wasn't.
started my
They was
yeah, they wasn't
they was just
yeah.
like,
And they had real nice curls. It was real like and I shouldn't say that all curls are nice. Let me say
yes.
that, but it was
You were
different than what you and I
you were
have.
you were seeing a lot of people just kind of like throwing it out, or you like when we talk about the tighter curls, then the more
Mhm.
coarse surface texture here, you saw a lot of twist outs.
Right. Yep. It was a lot of twist outs. And
Lots
I
of
couldn't
twist
do them
outs.
for the life of me. I learned how to do a wash and go first before twist out. I
Really?
just mastered it. Yes. I just mastered a twist out after COVID.
What?
I had to do
That
the wash and go I mastered first. And ironic, I'm gonna send you the picture. My hair was blonde when I did
what?
my first wash and go, and it actually did something. I said, "Ooh, we finally here. We finally here."
I arrived. I
Yes.
arrived. So when we talk about braids and this idea, one, that braids grow hair and they're protective, like what like Naisha, what's really happening for real? Like when what's the real experience that people are having? I think that's what we need to how we need to unpack these.
And exactly, that's how I do my content because I don't never say, "Oh, well, this is the only thing that works." Just me being the person, like I always played in my hair. People know, like literally, I just had a V part wig on. I got this braid out, and after this, I might do some large knotless because I'm at that point where I'm at my wits end. That's just me, okay? So, with that being said, I have clients come in that's like new. I have clients that's been with me for a while and the clients that come in that's new and they have very long hair, I ask them a lot of questions because it's everybody anecdotal experience. So typically the clients with the long hair, what I have been getting the most of, they do protective styles and they leave it in for 3 months. Now I'm not saying that's okay at all. They're not even shampooing their hair. They just leaving it in. And the hair is just growing. I want to say it's genetics, but then again, when I ask them, they like, well, no, because I'm the only one in the family with this long hair. So I think it just depends on the person. I wouldn't call braids a protective style though. It
So
doesn't work for everybody.
I agree with you that it is not necessarily protective. What it is it keeps your hands out of your hair.
Yes.
You don't know how to handle hair properly, you're always going to have a challenge with retaining the hair because what I do know is a lot of the single strand knots are not just because the hair is just knotting up. People are literally going in their hair and then they like rip it, like literally rip it up hard. So think about
Uh-huh.
double Dutch ropes. I don't know about y'all's black girl experience, but I played a
I
lot of
know
double
double
Dutch.
dutch.
And the ropes that we used to use for double dutch came from a hardware store. And there were some that were really, oh, I hate when we had those cheap ropes. It just made the game just
It
completely more
tackle your
fun.
ankles. The ankles be hurting.
But we would buy clotheslines. So double dutch ropes are generally in the hood were clotheslines that we used to jump rope with. And inside the rope was like the same, it was like the same thing with these cords. It was like
Yes.
this. And inside there was usually like some yarn because eventually the yarn came out from us playing double dutch so much. But
Hmm.
I'm saying all that to say, like, when that yarn used to come out and that rope would get tangled, God bless whoever was, mandated to untangle that rope because every time you would pull it, it would do like it would like knot up, and then you
Yeah.
had to like pick the knot out. Well, when we
Hmm.
take our hair and we go go like this with it, those strands of hair are literally like pulling up, knotting into themselves and turning into
Hmm.
single strand knots. So single strand knots are not just happening. We are tugging at our hair, like handling our hair, shampooing, conditioning, detangling our hair in a way that produces single strand knots. They
I
are
can agree
not
with that. I have a
just
lot of clients that come in and they're like, "Oh, I just detangled my hair." I'm like, "You probably detangled in a bigger section, so they don't never get the roots. It's always just this part right." Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's a pet peeve of
I've
mine
seen
too.
no, I've seen it. I've seen it. I had a
Yeah,
client whose roots were so like I don't even know how to I don't even know if a word exists for me to
I
describe what
know
I
how
was
it is
seeing.
though. I know.
So you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna try to use
Hmm.
something that so you guys can at home know. So sometimes the finger detanglers, the wide tooth detanglers out there, y'all are not getting all the way up here. And
It's a
we
wild
got
tooth.
like this. You got to get up in the roots, like get in there. It needs to be
Hmm.
untangled, because what happens is it mats up there, and then the hair does this up here, and then you're like, the roots are puffy. No, the roots are not detangled. They're not.
Right.
They're not
They're
detangled.
not
They
fully
should,
stretched.
they're not fully stretched. They should be stretched. They shouldn't be like balled up at the roots. If it's balled up like notebook paper up there, we need to bring a detangling brush to the chat. We need a
Exactly.
brush, not our fingers. I know y'all like to use them. Y'all think they're more gentle. They're not necessarily more gentle or protective. They're about as protective as a protective style.
Basically. Basically.
So back to
Especially if
your
you're not doing
client.
it right.
Right. Right. Back to your client, you said that she said nobody has hair. Well, I would say too, if we're looking at our family, and I don't know how old this person in your family was, but when people were wearing relaxers, a lot of us were
Hmm.
getting over processed relaxers, and also we're not using the appropriate shampoos to take care of the relaxer, nor were we going to the salon regularly enough for maintenance to keep up with the relaxer. So she probably didn't see anybody with hair as
That
long
is
as her.
true.
They could have had it, but if we're talking
That is
about,
true.
there's hair care practices. So we got hair care
Hmm.
practices and genetics actually being a part of this twofold, I think, concept when it comes to growing and retaining hair. So while I do say like look around at your family, I'm also gonna say look around at your classroom. I went to a very black school in grammar school. There was a handful of girls with, when I say long, I'm talking past the shoulders. There were a lot of
Hmm.
girls with shoulder length hair.
You're right.
Most people had shoulder length hair when I was in school.
We all
It
had
was
the little wraps. Mine was down here, but we all had the little wraps. I was one of those ones that had the thick. My stuff, everybody said it looked like a wig. It was the thick, full, long. And like you said, yeah, I didn't think about that because when it comes to like hair thinning, then that's when I ask clients the question about, well, your mom and all those things. But I didn't even think about that with the hair growth because, like you said, they was doing the relaxers and all the things, so they didn't even
relaxers.
have the potential to grow their hair out. Um, and usually, they be the clients that did tell me that they are the first one that's like natural in the family too.
Right. So we don't have anything really to go off of when we talk about it from that perspective. And then also the goalpost for long has moved in the last 15 years.
Hmm.
Long hair to me is anything that goes past the shoulder. If you're a shoulder and beyond, you're long. That's the rule. Them the rules.
Yeah, I, I thought that was long to me
Oh,
because you
no, no,
broke
no.
past.
No, no, they said that they are saying that long is like bra strap and waist length, which is not a
I
that's
mean,
not an average long length of hair that people are having. When we talk about people coming to the hair salon, and I think we can use that as a litmus. Majority of the
yep,
clients that we're seeing are medium length.
yeah, it's a good medium. It's not too many clients I get down here. Even
No,
like the clients that done been with me, the ones that I helped grow their hair to
yeah.
broad strap length down to their waist. Over the 7 years I've been in business, it's only been literally maybe five of them, but they was consistent. They've been consistent these last 7 years. It's not.
It's not. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's not.
So something else fascinating. I don't have anything to share with you in terms of like study wise, but I was talking to a client who teaches psychology at a university, and so
Okay.
she was telling me that there's like a study where they look at the hair to like mark where trauma occurred. So your hair keeps a index of trauma that you experience in your life.
So that makes sense because that'll go back to that pulling study they was doing at the college because you could see like, oh, it was a lot of tension. So if I done had this hair, the hair you have, because my hair ain't long. So if I done had this hair for so long, right, I could probably see, okay, the last 5 years, or I'm gonna say 3 years, the last 3 years of this shows like, okay, it was braid damage, it was a lot of twisted. I know you can see it too in clientele. You like, oh, there's a lot of braid, ponytail, twist damage. So that makes sense. That makes
So
perfect sense.
body trauma, like stress,
Mm-hmm.
COVID, is
Okay.
all marked in our hair. So like
Mm.
so what I always talk
Wow.
about this. I am not. I'm actually a person who wanted to go to medical school, who did not go to medical school. So I love science.
I
So
do
underneath
too.
our scalp, our hair is actually a liquid. Before it comes out of the scalp, it's a liquid. So that made me think, and this wasn't even in a cosmetology book, but I was like, if the hair is a liquid underneath your scalp, that means that those liquids are influenced by what is going on in your body. So if you're
Oh, now
not
that
well,
makes sense.
if you're not well, right? And the
Mm,
hair is responding to like the illness in your body,
the
and then it grows
stress.
out finer. Because if you think about, I mean,
Hmm.
aging, relatives, you seen them in the hospital. I remember my dad, like my grandmother's hair was actually fine. She had beautiful eyebrows. But my dad, he was really ill. And my hair comes from my dad. My dad had a lot of hair. I had never seen
Okay.
his hair like that before. Like it was so fine. I mean, even
Mm,
soft, very coarse hair. It was really, really soft. And that put that connection for me. So just think of, experiencing trauma in your body. Any illness you um, is trauma.
right.
You know,
Even taking
have given birth to a
medications.
baby, medication, birth of a baby,
Hmm.
trauma to your body. And so that hair is going to come in differently than it has for before then. COVID, trauma. We all experience a lot of stress, depression,
Yeah.
social anxiety. That all of that trauma in your body is coming out of your hair.
So it's funny that you said that because remember I was saying I cut my hair off and I cut it out 4 times. And typically when I cut my hair off, it's a change in life. So my baby, he got done breastfeed. He 2 now. He like two and a half. So I just got done breastfeeding a couple of months ago. So
Mhm.
I was like, all right, let me just go ahead and cut off my hair. It's a new time. He's 2. I'm a new mommy now, again, second time around. So I always typically cut it off every 3 to 4 years because the external, not trauma, but like things that I go through in life or way in which I feel, I'm like, okay, it's time to release this and just let it go. So it's
And
funny
you
that
just
you
do
said
that
that because
naturally. You're
I just,
naturally just doing it. You're
yeah, you
naturally
just
doing
said it. So I'm
that.
up here like clicking, like, wow. Because
But
I
the
am
hair
going
is,
through those things internally as well.
yes, and your hair is
Yeah.
having like your hair is different. You're like, I don't even like whatever this is doing. We could just you like
Hmm.
I could just start over. And for some people, that's just not an easy
Basically.
thing to do because there some of us are more attached to our hair
Hmm.
than others are. But
That's
yeah, so
another
like
conversation.
that's a whole nother conversation because I've been getting a lot of conversation about these mid shaft splits. Well, if the mid
Hmm.
shaft is here and COVID happened these last 3 years, that hair came from over here somewhere, and that's that hair that experienced trauma that is now here. Also,
Exactly.
can we talk about all the hair neglect that went on while we were all staying in place because people were not doing their hair.
No, they was not. I had a lot of clients I had to demat. I had a lot of clients I had to demat. It was disheartening because I didn't realize because like me, I'm the kind of person where I don't take on everything that's going on around me. I'd be like, okay, let's find a solution and let's get to it, you know? But I didn't realize the effect it had on my clients until they came in. And I'm like, oh, this is a thing. And a lot of people, their hair was thinning and it thinned out and it's like not coming back. So it was a thing. It
The
was a
COVID
thing. I'm
hair
still trying
loss.
to depack. Yeah, I'm still trying to depack it
Okay.
with my clients because it's like, it's wow. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
it
lot.
is. It's very right. Because and also like if you actually had COVID, right? You did experience hair loss. It's called telogen effluvium. That is
They did
the
say
hair
that.
loss we
Yeah.
experience from being sick or having trauma in our body. And so you had that part, and then we don't know like how long term some of the effects from the COVID. You know what I mean? Like that
That's
we
true.
experienced, like COVID, well, long haul COVID. That was the thing.
Hmm.
So all of this is living in our hair, and none of this, like, there's not enough studies
Right.
to
That's why I was like,
like. There's nothing we can be like, oh, this, but we both have the
hmm,
anecdotal, like we both saw that, and yes, you're right. A lot of people did come back with either matted hair or they were like ready to Britney Spears their own hair. They was like, I just cut everything off, and I'm like, cut it off. Like, what are we talking about? Solange,
right.
what are you feeling right now? And then we would cut
Exactly.
it and like fix it back. they're like, okay, no, actually, I'm cool right here. I was like, you just needed a haircut. You was feeling real
Yeah.
ugly. It was
Basically,
feeling ugly. You was feeling
basically,
ugly.
because
It's
they don't
okay.
want to do this. They want to just a little up. They want to
They
bob. That's what
they
it
just
is. They
needed
want the bob.
a little bop.
Hmm.
So that no, that is so interesting that you saw. I didn't see a ton of matting, but I do know people weren't really doing like that was like my hair was in a puff for like 11 days. I didn't even care. I was like,
Yep.
okay.
Not shampooing, nothing. Yeah, I did see a lot of money because it was just like I'm tying my hair up, and a lot of people was working from home. Um, a lot of people still coming out of COVID. I got a older clientele, and people are still like they coming out, and they like I'm finally ready to do something with my hair, or they was in twist a lot too. So just stayed in the
Yes.
twist. So then that's when you seen a lot of the matting at the roots because it's like, well, I'm gonna
Yes.
just shampoo it and throw some twists and throw it back. I got to be on a call anyways. So
Absolutely. And then you have,
yes.
so we talked about braids and that we both agree. And again, this is something I can think our community of stylists have to talk about more. We're probably the
Hmm.
bravest people.
Yeah,
We come in love.
yeah,
Let me say that. We come in love in talking
I come
about
in
this.
love.
We come in love because we are explaining stuff. So we need to understand like there's nothing wrong with braids, but there is hair that needs to be in the condition to go into
Mhm,
the braids, and there
mhm.
is the prepping that needs to happen after we come out of the braids. And
And the
I
care while in the braids as well.
yes, because you do need to shampoo them. Mhm.
I agree with that. Some stylists don't. I am one. They go like, you can shampoo it. I'm like, yeah, give it that 3, 4 week mark. Shampoo it. Of course, it's hot outside, so you got the best way. Go ahead and put your butters in there. You ain't got to put too much butters in there. Actually, too, I tell them to go down the shaft of the length of your hair to make sure you got
Mhm.
the moisture in. Don't just focus on the scalp. Like focus on the hair that's inside of the braid as well. And that's how you can see, your retaining length.
Your retaining length. So yeah, you want to cleanse it. You can condition it. You can do this all in the applicator bottle. It's not really hard to do. Rinse
Mm-hmm.
it. And then you need to come out though of the braids. Uh, I am more of a like a 6, 8 week. You need to come out of the braids.
Okay.
I don't know what's your take on how long? Like,
I say 2 to 3 months because life be
okay,
life for people. So I say 2 to 3 months. And the only reason why I say that because it do work for majority of my clients. Because like
yeah,
I said, I base everything off of somebody's life, and I know how I
agree.
am, and I know that I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I run my business. So sometimes people mentally can't handle it. So if you're not in a mental capacity to take it down within like 6 to 8 weeks, go ahead and care for it the best way you can in the 2 to 3 months, and then when you're mentally ready, prepare for that day and take it out because you might do more damage taking it out and then do like a Britney Spears moment, or you might end up doing something like, oh, I just want to color, but then you go back into another protective style because you might have took it down too soon. But then that goes back to like, okay, are you ready to grow your hair, or you just want me to care for the hair that you got and just keep what you have? So
I
like
love
I
that.
really be trying to figure out like people life. Are you dating right now? Like what's going on before we be
I
like,
love
oh,
that.
okay, we could just do wash and goes all day.
I
No,
love
because
that.
some people not mentally ready, and I had to realize that because I guess I'm real headstrong, and I'm just like, it is what it is. We're gonna do this. A lot of people is not like that, so I'm like, okay, Naisha, you got to step back and stop projecting on people and figure out like what are they going through, and then customize a hair care journey for them until they're ready, and then when they're
Agree.
ready, they pop out.
Agree. No, I like what you said. And a lot of like the periods of time was just more so to give people over here from Black Girl Curls perspective, to give
Hmm.
people a baseline to work from.
Exactly.
'Cause it doesn't exist, and people don't understand if you do wear the braids for that 2 to 3 month period, what does that mean when you come out of the braids? I'm a big
True.
like, you don't go right back in, like don't
Me
immediately
too.
go back into the braids.
Hmm.
Another hairstylist said recently, she said, actually, my hairstylist friend, she's like, the amount of time between your next set of braids should be the amount of time you were in the braids. And
I
I like,
agree. I agree. I agree. I don't like the 1 or 2 week thing. You got to give your hair enough moisture. You got to give your hair enough attention, and you got to let it not be tugged on. The scalp be tender. I don't know if you noticed that
it
the scalp be
do,
so tender.
it do.
So yeah, if you keep them in for like a month, 2, 3, best believe your hair don't have to be out. Especially if you don't want that braid breakage, because you can see it, in the hair. So I agree.
You can.
I agree.
Okay, so we are on the same page with that. So treat, like, and treat, because like you're gonna need a lot of treatments when you come out
A
of the braids.
lot.
I think I think about the period this past fall where I actually blow dried my hair 4 weeks straight, like literally every week. I blow dried my
Okay.
hair. Nah, my hair was like, no, 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 God, no, not every week.
Right.
Not every week, okay? On top of that, when I went back to where my wash and goes, it took my hair
Hmm.
about 3 to 4 months to recover from
Ooh, okay. Right.
that.
For the curls will start bouncing back. And see, I do tell
Yes,
people that too. I'm like, when you come out of your natural style, you might want to start doubling up, deep condition once a week, and you will slowly start seeing the curl, getting back its
treat.
umph.
Actually,
Hmm.
I was treating, so I was using like K18 mask. I had some of the
I
Rectin,
haven't
the
used that
Savon.
yet.
Oh, you
Okay.
haven't?
No, I haven't. I'm still on Olaplex. I was using Olaplex in 2017. I
Okay,
love
okay,
Olaplex.
okay. No, so
I do.
we're still using Olaplex, but K18,
It's the
she
stuff?
she on something.
Okay.
They really, I'll say this, when it comes to like products, the
Hmm.
K18 really like is next level in terms of like the technology with the product.
I love
Because
it.
the
Okay.
K18 mask, the difference between K18 and Olaplex is that K18 actually penetrates into the hair strand. Olaplex really
Mm.
is a layer on the hair that can be washed off, but K18 goes into the hair strand, which is
Okay,
why,
see, and Olaplex said they had that technology as well, though.
well, from what
Mm.
I understand or what I've come to understand, and I could be wrong about some of this, so I need to like circle back and see what they're
Same
saying now.
here.
But I know that K18 goes deeper into. I think it goes beyond. It goes beyond the cuticle. I think it goes so cuticle cortex. I think it goes past the cortex. I think that's what I think it is.
Okay.
Don't quote
Yeah,
me.
and that right.
It can be, well, with curly hair it's kind of tricky, because the
Hmm.
way the instructions suggest to use it doesn't really align with how we style tight curls, and so
Hmm.
that's where we had to make an adjustment with how to use the product. But you only use it like, so for like a month straight, you use it every week. And then after that, you
Okay.
could do once or twice a month. And so I actually
Okay.
use mine every other week. That's how I use mine right now. Unless I get like fresh color, I'll use it for a month and then go back to
Right.
using it every 2 weeks. And then the shampoo and conditioner. The conditioner, I gotta play it with it some more. I didn't really love it, but that shampoo, they have a detox shampoo and they have the what they call damage shield, which is an all-purpose shampoo. It's the most
Okay.
gentlest all-purpose shampoo I've ever come across.
You like it? I'm gonna try it
It's
out.
ve-
You like
it's a
it?
ve- yes, it's very
Okay.
gentle, very gentle.
So
It's
I like what you said. You had said something about the instructions. So with Olaplex, I don't follow the instructions as well. I like that because you the first hairstylist I heard that have said that. I'm like, I don't go by Olaplex instructions. I go by what you need and then I apply it accordingly. So
yes,
that makes
same.
sense. That
Same.
yeah.
Well, because a
Mhm.
lot of times when they're writing these instructions, they're writing them for mostly straight hair. And it's like,
Yeah.
there was nobody in the room to talk about tight curls or curly hair
Exactly.
for that matter. And so all these other conversations are happening with other hairstylists. And again, my hairstylist group, we conferenced on like, okay, how are we using this? Like, what are we
Right.
doing to use this product? Because it says to put it on and leave it on the hair, but then we got to put the humectant gel on. Like, how are we going to put the humectant gel over this mask? That doesn't even make sense.
Exactly.
So that's where we had to make adjustments. So okay, we got braids, crochets. What are your thoughts on crochets? Protective or not protective?
So so styles like crochet braids, I think it's
I
over.
see where you're going with this. I see where
You
you're
see where I'm
going with
going?
this.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
see.
like
Okay, let me speak for you
go
just a
ahead.
little.
Go ahead.
You're not a huge fan of crochets. You're not a huge fan.
Yes and no. I will prefer it
Okay.
over braids. I will prefer it over braids.
Oh, you prefer crochets over braids?
I will because your real hair is braided up. So then the oils from the scalp can actually nourish the hair. So like a sew-in and a crochet set, I will prefer that over the actual braids because the braids is getting tucked away inside the braiding hair. Whereas like your scalp is out and you have the braid base, but you can still like section it off and shampoo
Yeah,
it. And
yeah.
then your oil is still actually mainly getting on the braids, if that makes sense. So I do like them better just because like I said, over the 7 years, I just really pay attention and look at my clients' hair, and them tends to do better, even though they say it in a way because they saying it's like the older generation style.
No, are
I
they?
That's what they saying. That's what they saying, girl.
Not the way they crochet these braids in these days. That's not true. The way they crochet in these,
Oh, the locks, the sister locks. I mean,
yes,
not
they're
sister locks, but the
crocheting
locks.
those and they're crocheting like braids. Like they buy the braids and then crochet
Mm.
the like y'all, nah, then y'all ain't got away from it. I've seen somebody crochets like cankalon hair, which
Oh yeah,
I don't have anything, it's not my business. So
right, right, right. So when I say crochets, I guess I'm preferring to like the ones that how they have just a curly look.
yes.
That one,
Oh, there's so
yeah.
many different crochet like
Mm-hmm.
styles now, but I mean the base of the crochet is just braiding the hair down using the crochet tool to
Yep.
then apply this hair whatever way we are applying the hair. But
Mm-hmm.
that's looked at as a protective hairstyle. Again, another option, which also then still has the requirements that go with it. Because every single thing you do, there is the maintenance of said thing, the care of
Yep.
said thing, because
Mm-hmm.
it's no different than hair color. Like I have hair
It
color.
is.
The maintenance for my hair color is different than the maintenance if I didn't color my hair.
Let's just
But
call it
it's
what it is.
still,
It is. It's a
it's
big difference.
it's a big difference, but it's still at the core, it's still the same cleansing,
You still
conditioning,
have
and
a base.
styling.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's
still the
still the
same
same
thing.
base.
So
Yep.
the same for the crochet hair, the same for braids, and then when we get into wigs, now this is where I mean, because again, the wigs have become the most popular
They
uh
are. So,
protective hairstyle on the market as we speak,
mm-hmm.
and people, are using them for various reasons.
They are.
I can't even name, like there's so many reasons why people like are opting to wear wigs, but while we're wearing the wigs, we still need to care for our
Keep the hair.
hair.
I don't like the what is it, 13 by 4? 4 by 13? 4 by 13, right?
What's that?
Ear to ear.
Oh,
Anyway.
girl, I didn't know that.
So they got like okay, let's say this. They got lace. They got lace to go from ear to ear. I don't
Okay,
like those kind. I do like the glueless closure wigs though. Now I
okay.
have helped, and I got that pinned to the top of my Instagram page. I had a client, her hair was gone for 6 years. She been with me only for 7 months, and I have her edges grow back and her hair grew long. I got the videos and everything in there.
Mm,
We just did wigs, but her wig wearing thing was she came to me once a month. We did her treatments and stuff. We did a trim every 6 to 8 weeks, and then she put the wig on only if she had to be out and about, but the wig was off at home. So I
got it.
like that because it's kind of like a hat per se. Like she not gluing nothing down. It's just she like putting it on and taking it off. But then also while she's taking it off, I'm having her oil her scalp, and then also I have her use a leave-in conditioner or some type of like cream or butter to moisturize the braids, and then she comes out of them once a month. Now I do got some clients who will do like every 2 weeks, and then
Okay,
they'll take the braids down and then they'll come in and do the whole thing. But I
okay,
have seen hair grow with that, but not like the actual glue and I don't believe in a cap because you're suffocating the scalp and stuff like that. Just taking the
okay.
wig on and off like a hat.
I think the most important part of what you have shared is the plan. Do you
The
get what
pl-
I'm saying?
yes,
The whole
yes,
thing,
I
like
agree.
it's not even about with like it's a plan and like it's consistent. I think that's the
Mm-hmm.
most important part of this conversation because I know that like you're like because I'm not anti anything you just said because it goes with what is being done, which is why when you try to try and apply blanket advice, even the Black Girl Curls is blanket advice, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't
Same.
necessarily work like that. Yes, we are the no oils, no butters queens, but we didn't never say we didn't like them, right? We never said
Exactly. This is
that we
just
didn't
what we
like them.
do.
This is just what we're doing when we're wearing loose hair. We've always
Mm-hmm.
been talking about loose hair the whole entire time. But what I love about what you're saying is that there is a plan and there's some level of consistency with that plan, that it involves them circling back to you
Yes,
to then
ma'am.
make adjustments if, for instance, just using this as an example, like the oil wasn't working. Well, what do we do now? Or what do you want me to do going forward? Like, because
It's
I'm
funny
sure
you
you
say
have
that. That's exactly what I do.
yeah,
Hmm.
you have to make adjustments. And
Yeah,
so it's allowing you to see like, okay, that we're not gonna do that. And then when they come back, you get to see again, like, okay, so that's working. Let's keep that going. And then if they come back and something else isn't
exactly.
going, it's like, okay, well, what have you been doing? Okay, you didn't do this. Okay, let's keep doing
Hmm.
this, and then we'll check it again. So like there's this constant state of supervision, guidance,
Basically, guidance.
guidance,
I like that. Hmm.
guidance that is happening between you and your client. So again, the core piece of this is partnering with a hairstylist.
Right. Going
That's the
circle back around. It's full circle.
it's full circle. Like
Because people look at it as like, oh, you're just a stylist. And it's like it's a certain thing for a stylist and it's a hair and scalp specialist or somebody that could just care for the hair. I'm not just styling your hair. I could do many styles. I don't care about the styles. My thing is, what do you want to do? What can you mentally take? And then let's see how we could customize it, like you said, the plan. And then we do this and see if it worked, come back. And it's a back and forth kind of thing. And we adjusting it as life progresses and everything like that. So it's
I
just the
love
base. Like you said, it's your base.
it's
I
the
love that because I
base.
never thought about it like that. So you just said it's a base.
It's a base. It's a baseline. Like baseline wise, like we are on the same accord. Cleanse, condition, style.
Yes,
That's like word is bond for like the entire industry. Because even if we talk about like, do you do sew-ins at all?
I do. I do my sewings. Yep. I
But you know
do.
what? I love you're like my hairstylist who does my color. She gets
Uh,
bored. She likes doing stuff,
is
and then
that
she
what it
gets
is? I'm
bored
getting
with stuff.
bored.
Yeah, y'all get bored. When's your birthday?
I know. I didn't want to bring zodiac signs into this, but since we're talking about it, I'm a Gemini. I'll be
You're
30
Gemini.
in
Okay.
2 weeks. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
She's an Aries, and so am I.
Oh,
Um,
okay, cool.
but she gets
Ooh.
bored. She gets you and her are similar because she like this is her whole thing right now is like this is her dehydrated summer. She like
Period.
they hydrate her hair this summer. She's currently has some type of I think she's got some faux locks right now. She's like, I'm just it's
Okay.
hydrated summer for me. But she's also a natural who just wears her hair silk press. And she keeps it
Mm.
in a bob because she's like, this where my hair, like, it's not gonna be longer than this. This is where it looks its
She
best.
came. Mm-hmm.
We're here. And we're not trying to go here. Here.
All
And if I
right.
want to be here, we're gonna put a wig on it when I feel like it. Uh so sew-ins, sew-ins are actually on the rise, which I am
They are.
I never had a sew-in, but I have a love hate for my friends with them because they were always burning their leave outs. And so it would just really burn my gears. Like it really like I'm annoyed that you keep burning the leave out. Like,
That
why
part.
do you keep doing this to yourself? And this is where like I encourage one of my friends, like, you just really need to go get the wigs like the girls are getting. Like you just need to be a wig girl because you just keep
But see,
ruining
people hate the
hair.
lace. The lace be looking gritty. Oh, it's the grit. It's the grit. It's the grit.
No,
Oh,
I actually like where we are with sew-ins because I think there was a period of time where the sew-ins were done irresponsibly, just like the
uh-huh.
wigs have been done kind of irresponsibly. Not all of them.
Exactly.
There's been some irresponsible care that has gone on with wigs, but I feel like now this renaissance
Basically.
it's like a sew-in renaissance. I feel like this renaissance of sew-ins is ushering in a different kind of level of care. I saw a young lady I've been following, and like her people come in, she takes down the install, she cleanses, conditions, blows
Yeah.
it out, cuts it to perfection, sews them right back up and gone on with
Hmm.
their life. And I mean, the hair when she takes it down looks so good.
It it really does because, like you said, it's the base, it's the prepping and the prime. It's so for when it comes to like the and I'm just honest, y'all. I'm going through the motions right now. I didn't want to worry about the burning part, so I did. I threw a little relax. Yeah. Just go look at my page. Go look at how I help other clients, okay? Because right now I'm just doing anything. So I don't recommend that. So what I will recommend is like getting and I should have did this at first. I was just being impatient. I was being Yeah, impatient. And that's the thing too,
Right.
you know, as a natural, you'd be like, oh, I need my hair done right now. So that's why I was
Right.
like, I gotta get braids because it's so many things moving in my life. And let me observe that. So, anyways, no, when it comes to the sew-ins, I like the kinky straight hair. Because you could blow the hair
Mm.
out, blow dry, or you could do like braid outs, flexi sets, and still have that look for people who like don't like the grid look, or they just tired of braids, or they not comfortable with their hair
Yeah.
just being out just yet.
Yes.
Or what I used to do when my hair was longer, I did the curly look. It was like, what is they called? They called it kinky curl. And then I
Yeah.
did a wash and go on my leave out to blend in with my natural hair instead of
Mm.
just doing straight hair. So I think sew-ins could be really vital to growing out the hair instead of just doing like, you know, the silky bone straight buzz down. We
Yes.
could just
Yes.
do our hair, if that makes
Right.
sense, and blend it that way in its natural state or
I
blow
no,
dried
I
state.
love that. I really do love this, like this space with it. Again though, do you feel like protective or not protective? Like it's a hairstyle, right? Can we just it's a
It's a
hairstyle.
hairstyle. They all just hairstyles, and they just different ways to manipulate and make you feel good and, you know, customize your life. But none of them is protective
None
besides
of it
what you and I got right now. Just out. This is protected.
said being out is protective.
This is protected at this point.
No, okay. So okay, we've come to that, but it comes down to again the care. So you're doing
Hmm.
so you said don't relax it. What did you say you should have did instead of relaxing it?
I should have waited. I should have ordered the bundles. I should have ordered the bundles for the curly hair of my curls, of my wash and go hair, and I should have blended it in. That's what I should have did.
Okay. Lesson learned though. I mean,
Lesson learned. And
you're
I'm gonna
not
do it for y'all so y'all don't have to do
so you're not
it.
gonna make a TikTok and cry about it.
It ain't that deep.
You should do a video like my I didn't want to wait for these bundles to come. And so I was
That's
so
a good little
impatient.
marketing answer. I like that.
I was so impatient, like my stylist, but you the stylist the whole time.
Yeah. And that's the problem. That's the
My stylist said I should have waited for these bundles, but I decided to just go ahead and relax it. Now look at me.
right. And
Like
now I gotta go back in the braids. So now I want to wear a wash and go, and I had to opt for a braid out. That's not braiding out. You know, it's okay.
no, I love that. No, that is good marketing though. Like you should pretend like your stylist, but it's you. You did that to yourself.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that because you know this is what you
So
get.
the whole premise, or I would say the whole point, if you learned anything from this conversation between Naisha and I today, is one, I like that you said what makes you feel good. I had another stylist, Carlene from New York last week. She was like get the cut that makes you pretty, get the
Yeah.
hairstyle that makes you feel pretty, and also while you're getting that hairstyle, whatever it is, make sure the maintenance with
The
that hairstyle
maintenance, yes.
aligns with what you want and what you have the capacity for,
Exactly.
because we don't all have the capacity. Like I don't have the capacity to be sitting and get my hair braided. I just don't. Like I'm not I'm not the girl that's gonna be sitting getting six. And the last time I got braids, individual braids that took a full 12 hours to braid, I said, oh no, I'm never doing this again.
Mm-mm.
Never ever am I doing this again. I would rather pay to have 3 or 4 people braid my hair so it could be done in 2 hours. That's what I would want to do. If I'm getting braids, where are the 3, 4 people at so I get it done all at one time? I'll
Yeah.
pay premium for it. Um,
Okay.
but knowing what you actually have capacity for, like I wear my hair in a wash and go 90% of the time, mostly because of capacity. What
Right.
do I have actual time for? And so if you're wearing braids, like there's going to be some commitment to maintenance that is needed, being haircuts, treatments, and then have somebody else see your hair from a perspective that you are not able to see it, just like your mechanic or the person who changes your oil in your car. Because we know that light
Uh-huh.
goes, do we know what to do after the light goes off other than drive there? That's it. That's all we know, to drive and pay our money.
That part.
The same goes, right. Same goes for like, the crochets and hair protection really comes down to the care and maintenance.
That yes, that's what it is. It's literally
That's what
the
it is.
yeah, cleansing the
Like we just
scalp,
had this whole conversation and
cleansing
really
the
we could
hair.
have just ended this in the first 5 minutes. Like
But
hair
sometimes people
maintenance.
need to. We just need to debunk everything.
No, we had
It's just
to.
a
No,
debunking, yeah.
no,
And
we
people
had to
don't
do that.
realize it. Mm-hmm.
We had to do that. No,
This is great.
no, I really think it's great. And I love having these conversations, especially with other
Same.
hairstylists in this place. I mean, in this space who have something to share. And I love, love, love that you centered your clients' mental health in like coming
It's
up with
a.
plans. I love, love, love that for y'all. And I want y'all to like not be afraid to do these other hairstyles because
Mm-hmm.
it's damaging or it does this or it does that. We just doing stuff because they make us feel pretty. I mean, that's really what it
Pretty
comes
much.
down to.
Pretty
Did
much.
it? Am I
And just
pretty?
be aware, right? Do I look good?
Do
And just be aware of
what?
what you want. Like, do you really
Yes.
want your hair to grow, or can you just, let's just maintain what's on the head right now?
Let's make
That's what I'm.
that because do people really have time for all this long hair they swear that they want to have?
They don't. I don't, and I want it. Because
You
I
just
was
gonna
even
wait for
thinking,
your
I
bundles.
said,
You gonna wait for your
look,
bundles.
I was like, I told my husband, I was like, you know what? I said, because I'm about to be 30. I'm gonna just let my hair grow out to here, and we just might have a clean, chic, cute bob. I don't even want to grow it to my booty no more. It's a no for me. It's a no for me at this
You
point.
got two babies. You got two
I
babies. When
I
do
got
you
two
have
babies.
really? You have two. Do you have? What do you have? A girl and a boy?
I have two boys. I have an 8-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I'm a real active mom. Like when I say active, I volunteer. Anytime they
Okay.
send it out, I volunteer.
Okay.
We really do family days and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I have to be realistic with myself. I know I'm a healthy hair specialist. I can help you with your hair, but baby, I got to do what's best for me and my family right now. And that comes with confidence too, because like right now I'm up here like, we go through this every 4 years, so it's like we just
You're
here at
like,
this moment.
what an earring, blush, and a little bit of lipstick won't do for me. I'm gonna go on with that. That's how I feel. No,
Uh-huh.
I asked because I have a 9-year-old son.
Oh,
So and he
okay.
doesn't he goes to the barber shop now. So we don't really have anything going on with that. So like I'm
Oh, so
able
I
to
do they
keep.
hair.
Yeah, nah, he washed his own hair. He don't even put conditioner in it. He just out here living real reckless. Like his mom is not a hairstylist who believes in conditioner. We definitely need conditioner on our hair, but he has that kind of hair that it looks good. If he, if a dog licked it, it would be fine. Like
Okay, go
no,
ahead, baby.
yeah, you go ahead because he's like my curls. I was like, you don't put conditioner on your hair. You don't let me put like styler on it, so there's no curls. They're very loose, and he has very tight curls and he
Oh,
has very tight, very silky hair actually.
right.
Like his hair is laying down with that haircut. So we just go,
Oh.
let it be what it is. I'm gonna take care of my own hair, my
Uh-huh.
business. What I want
I
to
did my
do.
job. You.
Here's your shampoo. I put his conditioner in a spray bottle recently.
Oh, smart. I could have done more when you get a little older.
Because yeah, just I put some water and conditioner in a Flare bottle, and then I
Okay.
just have to spray it on and just kind of work it through, and then rinse it off real quick and go on. It's much
Hmm.
easier, less stressful.
That's his
Trying to
mental capacity.
that
He like,
is listen, children have their own mental capacity, y'all.
yes,
While we
they
trying to do
do.
all this stuff with their hair, like y'all was clowning Blue Ivy when she was little. They be clowning y'all when y'all be trying to do their hair. Just
That'd be a good one. I don't know if you talked about that yet, because I don't believe in like putting weave in baby's hair
no, I don't.
with
I don't
protective
agree.
styles. That'd be
I
a
don't
good.
agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't agree
When
with
you
it
say
either.
baby, like what age would you? We could talk about it just a little bit of it now. What
Okay.
age do you feel is a good age to do hair additions?
Mm, if I'm
I
being
mean,
honest, if I had like a little girl, maybe like 16 ish, because they hair need to flourish. Like, and it's so much stuff. We could unpack that some other time. It's just so much stuff within the braiding hair. You know what I mean? It's so much stuff when it comes to shampoos and conditioners, and they mess with the endocrine system and they hormones and they developing.
oh
It's
yeah,
a
we could.
lot.
We definitely can unpack because I'm seeing a lot of hair. I mean, I remember when I was growing up. And first of all, my mother could not braid. Let's just get that off the table. My mother was not a braider, so somebody in the neighborhood. I remember one of my aunties friend's sister, she used to braid the girl's hair, and I think my mama might have paid her in food stamps to braid my hair. I mean, this is
I
that time,
remember that. Yeah.
but she braided my hair. I think she might have braided my hair twice. That was like
Okay.
it. But no hair additions. Like I honestly like I get those braids 2 years ago. It's funny.
Hmm.
I worked in the suite where the girl who braided my hair, like I see her all the time when I go over to the suites to work. And so we were talking. I was like, yeah, like the braid, my hair broke off, and she was like, yeah, because it was too heavy. But she's like, I let you. You want those big braids? I said, okay, we'll talk.
I
I'm not
got
saying
you.
I feel you. I was like, I'm not saying I'm never ever getting braids again, but those braids, no. She was like, right.
Hmm.
I just had to let you have that experience.
Say thank you for that. I'm not going back.
I
Lesson learned.
appreciate that experience so much. But I'm saying that to say, like, I honestly would prefer not to have that much hair in my braids. Like, I love this
Hmm.
current trend right now where we're just doing more like natural like braids
Yes. Yes.
and adding very like minimal amount of hair.
So like on my
And
what's it called, on my booking site, I have it to where people could get like a natural hairstyle, and I would do like they stitch braids with their real hair, and then we could add like a little piece on the back. And that'll give them some type of
mm,
leeway. Or like if the hair thin, I might add a little bit of hair, but I am really trying to like slowly take my clients of out of not wearing the braiding hair, because you can have these cute braided styles. You know how they got like the ball hair braids now? Did you see
yeah, I
that?
saw that.
You can
I
have
like
it
it.
without I do too. I think
Now
I
I wouldn't
might.
wear it. I
Oh,
wouldn't
you gonna wear
personally
it?
wear it
Uh,
because, well, first of all, like my scalp is super tender. Excuse
touche.
me, just in general.
Mhm.
And like too many people braid too tight, and so
That
like
is true.
I look at it like, oh, that looks so uncomfortable. Like, I just keep thinking about like me having uncomfortable braids and then laying on it, like how.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
It's a
don't see.
no.
It's a no for me. And then like trying to get my hair to like. First of all, I have so much hair. I don't even know how somebody would be able to get all of it. You know how like somebody has so much hair and like where's all the hair gonna go? Because
Yep.
it's always that one like the last three braids. They trying to figure out how they gonna get them on my scalp because it's still this big
Exactly.
piece of hair left,
It's
but it's
still
not really a lot of
mhm.
scalp.
Right. Yeah, and see, I wonder about that too with the because I'm like, how are they? I don't know what they doing. It's a mystery going on there, but it's cute. It's
It's
cute. So I do
cute.
like
No,
the
I like it. Like I love the embracement of just like less. I feel like we're just
yes, it
moving
is
to
less.
this less like less of
Mhm.
everything kind of space, like
Mhm.
less hair. Cause some of the, I mean, no shade to y'all who wear the wigs, but I'm like, people don't really have that much hair for real. Like it's just too much. I look at, I'm going like, I am so hot looking at these very dense like installs and wigs. My hair, like
It's
at certain
hot.
points, it gets hot. I had my hair like my hair turned into a fro one time. My
Mhm.
ears were just, it's something about my hair being balled up and it's on my ear that just makes me hot and uncomfortable. So I'm looking at all this hair, like it's
All right here and skin sweaty and
it's right here. Like I was like, y'all, it's just a lot of hair. Like
it is.
people with real hair don't. It's a lot of hair. We be hot underneath this sometimes. We just be really hot.
No, seriously. It be
But
real hot. So that's why I even took the V part wig out. I said, Naisha, you hot. Why you do this? You hot. Why you playing? You just be trying stuff.
it's like
It's hot.
I was just trying to see something. I mean, did it work out? I mean, we'll see, but I mean,
It
no,
is hot.
we'll have to talk more about. We could definitely circle back and talking about like adding hair additions for children because it's like we were just, and I was getting to the point of when I was getting my hair braided, it was just my hair. We just
Mhm.
braided my hair and we went on, threw some beads on it and called it a day.
Yeah, because it so I don't know if you experience this, but I experienced a few clients, they come in and they ask, like, can you help me with my child, like, love her hair? And I'm like, I cannot, I can help, I can assist you in a way, but I really can't assist you if you are the first thing she deems as beautiful. You her mother. So you have to wear your hair too. So it's something that I have to do with you first. So then your child could see, like, oh, I am beautiful because my mom is wearing my natural. So it's a whole thing. I feel
And
mentally in our community when it comes to just like letting the babies just be the babies. Like you said, Blue Ivy. She look at her hair now.
look at her hair now. So last summer actually did a project,
Okay.
created a kids hair guide. Black Girl Curls made a hair guide specifically for people to work with their children's hair. And I bought in all these different parents and caregivers and their children.
Mm.
And there was this one little girl, I will never forget her energy about her hair. First of all, she came in and her hair was just like in this big ass fro. I mean, I don't talk about
Okay.
child, but I just want to really be really colorful, right, with my language. Her hair was her hair was her hair was here. Also, it was just like so much of it, right?
I love
And
it.
I hadn't even touched her hair. We were sitting and talking, and I was like, "What do you think of your hair?" She was like, "It's a 10 out of 10."
Period.
I said,
Your
"Whoa,
mama did your job, her job.
whoa!" And her mom's hair is nothing like hers. Like they have completely different hair, and so it was interesting. Like when people were asking me, like, "How did you get the kids to like their hair?" And I was like, "They all came in liking their hair." Like there was a one child I
Mm.
had to convince. The teenager, I didn't have to convince her. She just needed to see her hair do something that like she had never seen it do. So the teenager
That's what
was
that is,
actually
yeah.
very easy. The adults actually could be the a lot of the adults remind me of the teenager I worked with, but the problem with the adults, they have already been exposed, right? Um,
Pre-program. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so their ideas around their hair are from different experiences they've had in their lives. And so, when I'm doing people's hair, and again, people are coming to me because they want their hair where their hair. And
Mm-hmm.
I've had some instances where people are just like, how you could I always say, like, you need to be able, as a stylist, you need to be able to gauge if they're going to go cry in a car or not. You need to be able to see that before it happens.
Yes, yes.
And
That
so
happens a lot.
I know. And
Yeah.
so I can sense that there's going to be some crying in the car. Sometimes they just cry
Mm-hmm.
there,
Yeah, they
but
just cry here.
it's cry here, right? I can sense like something's off, and I go, "Is there?" Because I always ask at the end of an appointment, like, "Is there something you would like me to change or make different?" Because that opens up the door for them
Mm-hmm.
to address anything they may be dissatisfied about, as opposed to them feeling like they couldn't say anything. And so
Exactly.
I'll ask that. And then I remember a client, she was like, I was like, "So you don't like how I did your hair, or you don't like your curls?"
Right.
And it's like, "I don't like the curls." And I have to just say, like, I can't make you like the way your hair grows out of your hair, but I can fix it
Mm-hmm.
to make it look a way that makes you comfortable. That's all I can do. Um,
Agreed.
and so when it comes to children, while like I don't think, well, because it's funny because I'm thinking of another client I worked with. Environment is not necessarily the mom. Kids don't care about their mama's hair for real.
Okay.
At a certain age, they don't even care what your hair look like. It's what the kids at school hair look like. And
That
so
was another one too. That is another one because
that is
the
so
kids are
I think
mean. Yes.
so
That
I
yeah.
think from like between the time they're tiny to about maybe first grade,
Uh-huh.
you are who they're looking at. But when they get to that
That's
school th-
mm-hmm.
or with other children, that changes. And
You're
so
right.
my one client said she's from California, from Oakland to be exact. And she
Okay.
said they lived in an area where her daughter was going to school with white kids. And so being in that
Mm.
environment, she wanted her hair straight.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so she's like, I have been wearing my hair natural for a while at this point. She didn't care about my hair. And so then, but that dawned on me. It's like they don't like at a certain age, they don't care about the mom's hair. We have to be vigilant about the environments that we put them in. So guess what
That is
happens? This
true.
daughter goes to another school. I don't know if it was she went to high school or something. But anyway, she ended up going to this black school. And
Okay.
now she want braids. So
He said, I need braids now.
she's like, I need these braids. And again, her mom was natural at this time. She didn't care about her mom's hair. She wanted to wear what the kids at school were wearing. So
Right.
the environment when it comes to children, I just wanted to throw this out here, comes to your child, while you are like that first example, they're going to be influenced by the spaces they're
That is
in. So if
true.
they're holding space in a mostly white environment, that is going to influence their ideas around beauty, because that is what they sit around all the time, versus if
Mm-hmm.
they're sitting in an environment that is, I don't even say diverse because my son goes to a diverse school. And I mean, we've had some conversations, and I'm trying to still figure out where this one conversation comes from about him wanting his skin to be different. I'm still trying to figure out like where, because the school is so mixed.
Right.
There's no one group that out, like there's more of, like there's white
It's just a
kids,
good melting pot.
Hispanic, Asian, and then you have black kids. So I'm like, where is this coming from? Because you get to see
Right.
an array. But when it comes to hair, though, with children, that environment of children that they get to spend time around is going to be the most influential in terms of their hair choices, because those are their peers.
I agree. I agree.
Their peers. But we'll talk. So we'll circle back about the kids braid hair, yay or nay, adding extensions, what's a good age? Because
Right.
what we are playing with is we're playing with, and this is something we talked about in a previous episode with the psychotherapist about how
I seen that
our,
one.
when she talked about like the brain, right? And so the brain connecting with your, what your eyes see, and how that period of adjustment. So if we're adding hair to children's hair, we're playing with what they are seeing themselves as in the mirror. They're still
Mm,
developing.
they
If
are.
we think about that from that perspective, that's like when she said that, that was like that was like this,
Next
like,
level.
yes, but it makes so much sense. We're
It
tampering.
does.
When we do that, we're tampering with their current physical like way they see themselves,
Exactly.
and you take it away, now I feel ugly, like just like I'm over here, I got two nails over here,
Oh, I
no
didn't even notice
nails.
that.
Girl, you ain't even, nobody probably
Look, I
noticed
ain't got no
hardly.
nails. It's okay.
But it took me like days to like to get used to seeing my hands like this, because I have had, nails on for forever. So we're all like going
Hmm.
through these adjustment phases when we're doing things to our hair. Like if you start wearing your hair loose, you have to adjust to seeing your hair loose. Or if you just been wearing braids back to 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 back, and now you got to come out
Exactly.
because you want your hair to, you want to retain length, you want it to flourish, and you want to wear your curls. Now you got to get used to seeing yourself without those braids.
Now you got to get used to, oh, I might have to do this. It may not be all down here. It's up here now. The shrinkage.
Yes. It's strange, right? Same thing with, wearing a wig or wearing a crochet. Like we definitely
Hmm.
need to work on striking a balance between a lot of the things that we're doing. But again, with capacity and how you want to be seen in the world, also with you just seeing yourself. So
Yeah.
uh, I really appreciate you for coming on and
Oh, I
like
appreciate you for
sharing
having
your
me.
perspective about hair. I'm not as, I guess, stringent about things when it comes to hair. I'm actually very open to other perspectives. And I appreciated your perspective because it's, again, I think the magic sauce in all of it was the plan and working with
Hmm.
a professional. So I really appreciate you sharing your perspective with us.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate you having me. When you wrote me, I was like, is this the right person? Do she know who I am? Jesus Christ. I told
No,
my boss,
I
I said,
just,
this is real.
I see, what, I see things and I'm like, oh, she would be a great person to
Thank
have
you
this
so much.
conversation with, because she already has a very strong stance. And I love that again, your stance is very entrenched in meeting where people are when they sit down in your seat. And that's every
Yes.
single appointment. And that goes for me too. And online, it can be a little bit challenging because a lot of you all are just catching us at a different snapshot or different period.
Hmm.
with where we are with our hair, or where we even are with our clients with their hair at that
Exactly.
particular time. And so just know that when it comes to hair, it's not static. It's it's evolving. It's an
It
evolving
is.
thing. It's shifting, it's changing. And we as professionals shift and change with it. But what I will say, cleansing, conditioner, styling ain't went out of style though. Like
It's still the base. You gotta have that base. It's the
it's
fundamentals.
it's the fundamentals. And so we are so like deep into the fundamentals while aligning the fundamentals with current day culture, so to speak.
Exactly.
So, y'all,
Exactly.
this was so dope. I
This
hope
is so
it
dope.
was. I My goal with Black Girl Curls podcast was to shed light on the conversations that need more time to actually chat about, as opposed to the fast pacedness of places like Instagram or even TikTok.
Exactly.
These
Exactly.
conversations need to be handled with care.
Mhm.
And we're both Black women, like, and we care about Black women's hair. We care about Black women's mental space,
Very much so.
capacity, and also we want more than anything for people to be equipped enough to make decisions that align with them personally. Because I've seen way too much since
Mhm.
I've been on this internet since 2009 of people doing things because somebody said they should do it. And a lot of these people saying these things don't have a booking
Mhm.
system, clients, proof of concept, or nothing.
Agreed.
And it's no
Agreed.
shade, it's just the truth. Like the
Mhm.
stuff that we do on a daily basis in a salon are things that we are constantly measuring. It's not like set in stone. Like, okay, just because I did it
Exactly.
on the last client doesn't mean I get to do that on every single client I work with. I have to make adjustments just like you do, right?
Right. Yeah,
So
this is great. I'm
no,
happy.
this is
Thank you so
so
much.
great. It's so great. I just want to again put some perspective on again all these different topics in our space. And for there to be a place like, okay, who because when I was online earlier, I'm like, where's the hairstylist? I want to know what they gotta say.
Right. Uh-huh. And it's so funny because I had a client. She was like, "Be careful with that," and I was like, "Well, I feel like, well, from her perspective, and you know how I am. I said we are saying things that need to be said that people are scared to say. So stuff just need to be said and talked about. Like you said, handled with care, but it has to be said and it has to be addressed, and solutions need to be, brought upon. So,
They do. They
yeah.
definitely do. So, you guys will be able to find Naisha. I'll put Naisha's information in the box below so you guys can find her on Insta. I'll even include your website because some people
Oh,
are not
thank
even,
you.
not everybody's on Instagram. We get that. I'll include
Exactly.
all her information. Where are you in the world, Naisha? I didn't even ask you that. We just going
Oh,
on.
so I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio, you guys,
Oh,
located in
okay.
Harper's Point. Yes, I'm 4 hours away from you, girl.
Yes, that's so funny. For whatever reason, because of the time, it was the time. I was like, "Oh, she's on the East Coast," but
Uh-huh.
you're in the Midwest on
Uh-huh.
East Coast time zone. Okay,
Right.
something new I learned today. Okay,
You
um,
know?
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Because when I looked at it, I was like, oh, read the whole thing. Read the CST part.
I'll make sure next time I bold that I'll have to do it from my laptop for
No,
the
you fine. I was
future.
right. I was just geeking at you. I was like, oh, okay, I gotta be here.
No, you're super good. But no, thank you so much. This was definitely a wonderful, pleasant conversation to
Yes,
have,
it
and I hope
was.
that everybody who is has tuned in learned something. If you guys have any more questions about anything that we chatted about or discussed, please, please, please leave a comment below, and then I'll look at it and see like if it's something that we can address, or what way that needs to be addressed, if at all. Right.
Right.
So thank you so much. And until the next Black Girl Curls podcast, I'll see you guys
Bye,
around.